Hi everybody, it's Patty and I'm here to show you my take on burlap flowers. This one is a rose that I made and I'm actually going to do a tutorial on this. Um, this is a shabby chic rose and I'm going to show you how to make this. And then this one I cut from the Tim Holtz Tattered Florals die. I cut the burlap and then I just layered it and added a button, and there's like a skeleton leaf and a little doily behind it. I used my Moon Shadow Mist from Lindy's and my Starburst sprays to color the burlap. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make the shabby chic rose. The first thing you got to do is cut out a circle out of the burlap. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be very uneven because it's not going to really matter. Then you're going to get some white or cream or whatever color you choose paint, the craft paint. This is the Apple Barrel Antique White. And I'm just going to blob some on my glass here. And you need obviously a paintbrush, and the reason why you want to paint your burlap is two reasons. First reason is that you want to make sure you get the edges really good, because that's gonna keep your burlap from fraying. Second reason is I'm going for the shabby chic look, so I want to add a little cream color to the burlap. Okay, so you're going to continue to do this all over. You don't want to completely cover your burlap. You do want some of it showing, the color of the burlap, I should say. But anyway, you're going to do this, and you're going to paint both sides. You're going to paint this side, then you're going to flip it over, and you're going to paint this side too. Okay? And then you're going to want to let it dry. Now, I let mine dry overnight. So, I have one ready to go for you. Let me just clean up my paint here so I don't get anything in it that I put on here. Okay. So here is my painted piece of burlap, and you can see I painted both sides, and you still can see some of the burlap. Using the acrylic paint is like it kind of gives it a stiffer feel to the burlap. It's not floppy, it's very stiff, and you need that to make this rose. Okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut it in a circular pattern. You're going to find a starting point, and you're just going to cut like a spiral. And just keep going around. And here again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all perfect, because in nature roses are they're not perfect. And then you just want to leave a little glue, like a little piece right here, if you can see that. That you're not going to cut all the way to the end, because this is what you're actually going to glue your rose down to. So now that you have it cut, you're going to want to get it back into shape. So this is what it looks like. Okay, you're just going to do a spiral cut on it. Now you're going to start on the little tapered end here, and you're going to curl this really super tight. Okay, and now here comes the fun part. You're going to bend your burlap over. See what I'm doing? I'm bending, and then you're just going to continue to wrap. And this is actually going to make it look like a rose. And you can do this as loose or as tight, depending on what kind of rose you're going for. See what I'm doing? I'm bending the end, and that's another thing, like the paint comes into play. It actually holds it in in shape there for you to do this. And then you're just going to kind of keep twirling it. And then when you have a little bit left, what I like to do is just curl the end really close. See, I'm just curling just the bare, like the small amount. Sorry, we're having rainy weather here, and every time the rain comes, my sinuses and allergies just go nuts. So you're just gonna curl it, and now you kind of have to play with it just a little bit. Okay. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. So I have it, and there's my back piece. Now I'm using hot glue, and I normally do not recommend hot glue, but for this, I normally use fabric tack when I'm working with fabric, but my fabric tack wasn't even holding the flower. So once you have that glued, and you're going to hold it in place a little bit, and while you're holding it, you can play with it. Try to get your little leaf, or the edges of the rose, to stay. Okay. So there's my rose. Now what I do, well, this is what I did on this one, is I took some Folk Art baby pink paint, and kind of a stiff brush. And you're going to want to dry brush this on, because I didn't want, this pink is actually too bright, and I can't seem to find the right pink that I absolutely love. But you're just going to lightly paint on the pink, and that kind of gives you the shabby chic look. Oops, there's a lot of paint on that one. Kind of just gives it a touch of pink. And then when you're done getting it the way you like, and this is all by taste, don't, you can use different colors. You can use as much, you can put as much colored paint on here. Like if you want it to be really super pink, you could put more pink on. This is just what I prefer. Okay, so I'm going to say I'm done doing that, only for time reasons. So to get the sparkly that's on this rose, I used my Worn Lipstick Distress Stickles, and what I do is I put it right on my finger. See if I can get it to come out, and I just lightly touch all the tops of the flower. Whoops, I still have some on my finger. And then you're just gonna let that dry. And here again, this is to taste. If you want it more sparkly, you can add more. If you want it less sparkly, you can add less or none at all. It's totally up to you. Okay, so there's the rose I just made. And then when you back it with some leaves, and I should have brought leaves out, but I didn't. When you back it with leaves, or you could even do some lace back there and then add leaves. You can do a whole ton of different things, and this would be so cute on, you know, some shabby chic projects and things like that. So that's my burlap rose. And I hope you guys give this a try. Now, this burlap that I used is the burlap that I sell in the store, and it's really like heavy duty burlap, and it's the only burlap that I have, so I'm not sure. I know you can buy burlap at the fabric stores and stuff like that, but I think that's like a lighter weight. But I use the heavier weight on it. So that's my rose, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it gives you some ideas to make different kinds of flowers out of burlap. And don't forget this. This is kind of very shabby too. I did use a little bit of stickles on the ends just to keep it from fraying. That's all I did. So, okay, well, that's it, and I hope you enjoyed this, and go out and make some burlap roses. Thanks for watching.